It's 9 o'clock. We are going to go over how to change or how to set up and install a WiresX node. This little screenshot I got from the internets shows a sample of someone connected to the American Link node, and this is what the software will look like once you get your node up and running. So I just thought I would have that up and ready to go. So what we're going to do, first of all, is let's look at where's X. Do a little search here and images. And for those of you who know digital modes, the image I have is kind of explains how it works. Of course, this WiresX does utilize the internet, okay, just like some of the other digital systems out there. But what that does allow you to do when the internet is up is to talk on a handheld or mobile through repeaters that are linked to the internet to other people on the same C4FM system or WiresX system and communicate around the world without a big fancy HF radio and thousands of dollars in antennas and all that. So, 98% of the time, this is something that you can use as a ham radio operator to talk to people around the world without a necessarily expensive budget. To do this, you don't need to run a node, but if you have your own node, you can do whatever you want with it. Otherwise, you can connect to a local node that has, say, a repeater nearby that's connected, like the one I run here at K5LRK in the Colony, Texas, which currently our antenna is not working, so it is not working here locally on the repeater, but I can show you how to connect to the software to the WiresX system. So that's the system in a nutshell. Digital, the system of WiresX does allow analog and digital to communicate simultaneously, with each other if the repeaters and such are set up to do so. The repeater here and my node that I run on that repeater is set up only for digital. So there's just more capabilities. You got GPS location, how far people are. So let's get into it. So first of all, you're going to do just search Yaesu WiresX software. It's going to take you to the member login. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to register right here, an email address, and you'll have to register your node. And that, of course, I did it 7 years ago. I'm not sure how long it takes now, but it takes a few days. They get back to you, and then you can log in. And we'll log in. It's got the wrong password. Let me see if I can log in with something else. It's not that one. It is, let me try, oh, maybe it's my Firefox. It's memorized. Oh, I think it's because I'm still on the, interesting. All right, so what you'll do is you'll go to that WiresX page and you'll click on user page. And once you're registered, you'll be able to log in, and obviously I can see these files too. And there's a few files for you. It does some of the explanation on WiresX and the node, how to use some things. Here's an example of someone walking with an HT connected to their own home node if you're nearby, and connects to someone else, mobile or through the repeaters and through the internet. Of course, the photo op. So what we got to do is download. We'll go to opening a node, and if you use the HRI 200 interface box, which is this, which you no longer need if you have a radio that the more modern ones they have, and the HTs even, can be controlled and run a node just with the uh, cable. And if you got Windows 10, you can use the SCU20 that comes with it. Some people I've seen online have been able to install an old driver into Windows 11 and get it to work. I went ahead and bought the $39 SCU58 cable that works with Windows 11 and all the radios for your nodes. So that's all we're going to be using today. We're digital only. I'm not using analog. I don't need these things. So we'll plug this in. Right now it's plugged into the back of my FTM400, and I'll plug this into a USB port in the computer in just a moment. That's a SCU58 for the Windows 11, just to make things easier. So then what you'll do, here's some minimum requirements for PC. It doesn't take much. It talks about opening the ports, and I've found that you only need to do that with the HRI 200 box. I left mine open, but I had set it up on another computer with these ports not open, with just the cable to the radio, and it was working. So if you're using the HRI, you need to pull up, your router, specific router, Netgear router or whatever, and find out how to open these ports and make them UDP ports and open them up to go to the IP address of the computer that's going to hold the WiresX software. And also what you want to do is make that IP address a static IP address within your system so that the IP address doesn't change and then your ports are open to some other computer. Okay. Goes into more explanation of what the different modes are. There's portable digital mode. This is capable of internet communication only in digital. Okay. If you do a portable HRI mode, you're capable of internet communication with both digital and analog nodes and rooms. Mine's set up for just digital. It goes into more explanation of how that works, has some graphics on how that works. You can go through all that. Here's a manual to get more closer instruction. Here are the radios that are compatible with PDN mode or portable digital node operation. So you see the FT2, 3, 5, and then these mobiles from the 100 up to the newer 500 are all capable. Of course, they don't make 3 of these, I think, aren't made anymore. You do have to make sure that your firmware is up to date. Now, I've got a couple of videos showing firmware update on a 400 and an FT1, I believe, or 2. And you got to make sure you have these versions or the software won't even recognize the radio. And then, of course, you're going to have a computer, a decent internet connection. If you even have 1 megabit download, it seems sufficient. Okay, and that explains what you need, what cables you need. Here, like I said, the SU58 supports 1110 and 8.1, and the SU40 only supports 10 and 8. And the SU20 right here, don't even see that it says it supports it, but I couldn't get it to work, so I had to buy the new cable. So what you'll do is you will download where is the download? Opening a node. Go into files. I'm not sure why it doesn't have the, let's try this again. All right, let's go to yaesu.com. That's the PDF. WiresX, we've been there. Okay, that's weird, unless I have to be logged in. Let me try up here. Telling me I'm not a valid member. I was kicked out of the club, I guess. Hmm. Oh, I'm not adding the characters. It can't be that few characters. There we go. Okay. You got to have more characters in there for the password. So I'm logged in now. Let's go to node owners page and now see how it populated this information. There's remote monitoring software, but we're just going to deal with this one right here, the WiresX PC software, and it's 1.550. It's going to download it, and then we'll install. And when I install something like this that's going to be accessing a driver or ports and stuff, um, oh, we got to unzip it first. Let's extract it. I just extract it to the default location and then open the folder when it's done. So I like to run the install. I right click and run as administrator. You're going to run that. Now it's going to ask for the HRI 200 device driver setup. And if you got the HR 200, you'll have to click on that and continue that driver setup. And it basically just puts the driver for the HRI 200 box. We're just going to use the SCU 58 or 20 cables. So we're going to click this right here. Next, we accept the agreement. We can enable it to auto start. I'm not going to do that because this is not the computer I run the node on. But if this is what I have enabled on the node computer so that if I ever reboot and step away, it automatically loads WiresX and runs. We'll connect, continue, install. We're going to hope that this all works the first time. All right, finish that. Now let's close all this. And we're going to go to WiresX. It's going to run it as administrator. Now we're going to choose the serial port. So right now you can see I only have 1, 3, and 4. So I'm going to plug in, I put an extension on here so I can reach. Let me plug in the SCU 58 cable or 48 cable. Plug that in here. You hear it, Windows will recognize it. I think it's 5. Refresh that. There it is, COM port 5. It'll be a prolific driver. And if you need the driver, that's also available on that user page website. So we're going to choose that, and we're going to OK it. It's going to read the radio. I think I've got it on. I hope I've got the radio on. I don't have the radio on. Let's turn on the radio. There it is. And it'll put the serial number here. And when you register your node, you're going to need that serial number when you register. So it reads the radio, and in the server database of Yaesu, that is registered to me and my DTMF ID or my node and room numbers. And mine are 21606, or excuse me, I had that backwards, 11606, and for the room number, 21606. And once you've put these in and it reads your radio, and as long as you're registered appropriately, you can hit ID entry. Look at that, it automatically populated what I submitted with the registration. So my call sign, the username is the club call sign. It's on a repeater. And Little Elm, Texas, USA. The repeater is in the colony about 8 miles south of me, but the node is here in Little Elm. We're going to click OK. And I've already got everything in here, so you don't really have to change much. The one thing you might want to do is you could put in automatically whatever GPS information you wanted, or if you have a radio that's pulling GPS, you can read the GPS, and it'll put that all in there. I'm not going to put it in on here because I'm going to uninstall this program once this stream is up. So ID information, you can put a comment in there if someone connects to your node. They'll see the comment in the window, which I'll show you in a little bit. You can put a little BMP, and I'll show you what that is, a little image of the node. Went over location settings, call settings. So round QSO room connection, this allows people to, I believe, connect to the QSO, to the room to QSO with other people. I've never had this checked. This is, I believe, to allow people to call this node while you're in a round QSO room. This one I do have enabled, and I have this enabled to go to the Texas Nexus node so that if somebody, say, wants to use the node, they can change it to, say, America Link or Japan or Italy or Brazil node, and they can use that local repeater and move it to a different node. But a lot of people don't know or don't remember to put it back to the node that we like it on for the repeater. So you can put return to room and you put the node number of, say, Texas Nexus or America Link or whatever right here. And that will return after we set a certain amount of time, and I'll show you that. So right here, you can do unlimited time to where it never times out. So it will never go back to the room that I want. Um, I don't personally like, I might do that if it was my own personal node, like on a low watt, local, or milliwatt even. But I uncheck that and I put 60 minutes on here. I think that's as high as you can go. Yeah, 60. And now that we have 60 in here, the timeout timer, if someone moves it to, say, America Link, 60 minutes from the time that they move it, it's going to automatically bring us back to whatever room node we put here. So that way, it gives someone an hour to kind of play around and join other rooms or nets, but it does return it automatically at 60 minutes. So it's just one thing less for me to worry about. So it's less management. I look at it all as how can I make this the most automated as possible. So I set ours to 60 minutes. I don't mess with the remote control. I don't need to worry about remote control. Digital ID settings, I don't mess with. I don't worry about the group windows. I don't really, not that too many people use these things, but you can have log file saves, and I believe that's for news. And I think there's even a place to put photos, I think, as well, which could be this, but I'm not too sure. But that's pretty much it. Mostly it's just the information here you want for your node. Put in a little image. It's got to be really small if you want people to see when it pops up. GPS if you want. Allow people to connect. Return to room if you want. Put a timeout timer on it if you want. Otherwise, leave it unlimited. That's about it. You don't really need to mess with these. So now I'm going to click OK. And see right here, it says offline. So what I'm wondering is, oh, no, see, offline, online, let's see if it figures itself out. Okay, see, so I don't have the ports open. So as you can see, it's connecting right now. So it's populating automatically the room IDs. And if you're connected to the internet, that pops up pretty quick. And down here, you can always monitor. If you ever see offline, double check your ports, double check the IP is correct. Because that sometimes, if you didn't make a static IP, it will, if you got the HRI 200 box, that is, your router may change the IP of that computer, and then the ports that are open no longer work on that IP. So these are the user IDs. This is the room IDs. So remember I put in the two different numbers. So you'll go up here and look at, what did I say, 11606. I don't know if it puts us in here or not since it's us. Let's check here. 21, 20, I don't see it, maybe because it's ours. But what we can do is you're fully connected now to be able to go to any node you want. If it's on a repeater, someone can connect now and they can move that to whatever. I just realized the transceiver says analog. We want to change that right here. I just noticed. We're going to go to digital. So in the settings, don't worry about these. Don't worry about these. We've already activated and we're connected. It's working. Don't worry about that. Communication port is working. If you have an HRI 200 box, you can go through that again and you'll see, uh, oh, it doesn't pop up because we're connected. You'll see that port check, and you can check your ports and make sure they're open. You can also do that here under Tools. See, we don't need it because we are not connected to the HRI 200. We're connected just the cable. Makes it a lot easier. You still need a radio to run the node and then another radio to communicate with it. So that's kind of a pain, but at least they reduced the need for the $100 and something HRI 200 box. So next is we're going to look at the transceiver. Now on our node, it runs on 443.300. I'm not going to worry about this because again, this isn't the computer I use the node for, but you'll want to put in your frequency. I do have it here digital. I'm not sure why it's saying not digital. It's kind of strange. Um, and then you're going to put your power down here. And every time you change these settings, your radio will reboot. So we'll just keep low power, and our offset is 5.00. And then it should reflect that down here, 448, 443. Actually, I should turn on, I can use my radio though, even though it's not connected to the node. And I can key it up. Let's go to digital. Up. And let's check that. And that's the wrong one. Let's check that again. Okay. So once you've got the uplink and downlink correct, I don't care about that. Digital, narrow, I don't worry about DGIDs. That's a whole nother topic. Low power, +5. Let's apply it. It's restarting the radio. And let's okay it. And let's see if we can get this to switch to analog. I mean to digital. Oh, I know why. I think. Oh, not settings. Let's go back over here. Transceiver. And let's change that. I think I might have to shut it down to get this to change. Let's try that. Let's try closing the program. Opening again. It's in Wires X mode, so it should be working. There we go. So you just had to reboot I just had to reboot the software. So digital, digital. It shows connecting online. It's connecting to the radio. And once it's up and running, it should start connecting to the nodes or rooms. So it's populating again. Users. So when you get registered, you're going to have a user ID like you saw me put in. Mine was 11606, and then the node is 21606. So it just added that, that 10,000 digit. So if you just know a node number, you can either subtract the 10,000 or add the 10,000. That's probably their user ID number, old number. Up here is going to be your favorites. So if you want like the Seattle one, you can right click on it and add to bookmark list. So you can bookmark the ones you like or return to a lot. Let's get rid of that. Not sure why we can't get rid of that. Let's go down to rooms. Let's find a room. USA, California. And this here tells you how many people are in the room. I don't know if that, okay. So 5 here, Carolina is 3, 2, 1. I'm not sure why America's Link or none of the others are populating. And I don't remember the Texas Nexus. Here, this Japan one is pretty big. So we can add that to a bookmark list. And now we got it up there, and you right click and connect, or you can click connect here and connect with it highlighted, or click connect to, and put a number that you know, and that's how you can connect as well. So let's connect to this one, and you'll see it populate. So now, remember I told you the little The info you could put in, that'll put stuff in here. Gives the information here. I think if you look at ours, it'll show the frequency. And they've got so many in Japan. Look at this. This is room D. So at least 4 rooms just in Japan. And then this is where that image would be. So if you want a club logo or whatever you want, a QSL image of yourself. And then you look over here, this window will be up, and you can see everybody connected to it. And a lot of people have put in ND, their nodes. Some of them you'll see, like on mine, says dash RPT, like repeater. Here's someone who has it in a personal digital node mode. Let's see if anyone has it in repeater. I just chose repeater. Here's one. Oh, that's us, a K5LRK-repeater. It lets them know that it's a repeater too, not just a node. I just like that better. And then in the software, see, this will be up all the time on your computer, and you just make sure you don't set your computer if you want it on all the time, like mine is for the club. You just make sure that it's not set to any kind of, I do a screensaver so the screen shuts off, but the computer does not go into sleep mode, standby mode, or shut down, or you lose your node. So I got just a little like a netbook, low power that runs this, a 36 gig little SSD card in there or something. But it's more than enough to run a node. So let's go out of here. And what I just realized is your favorites aren't saved to your account, they're saved to the software. So on the other computer, I've got 5 or 6 favorites in here, Texas Nexus and others. But you'll see here it's populated. Here's America Link, 61 active right now. Let's see. Yeah. So let's try connecting to America Link. That's usually pretty active. And there you go again. You've got their information here. And see if you can hear that. If we can get someone to talk. So you see right here, you see that N7GEE. So that call sign is trying to talk. And from your screen on the node, you can see it all right here. So when someone keys up, you'll see this, and it shows them. It shows you also. So if I keyed up, you'd see K5VOP here as the user, and then the uplink, you would see the node that I'm connected to, which would be K5LRK-RPT. Here's node numbers and all that. So he's trying to talk. Maybe he's analog and going through some kind of a cross repeater. I'm not sure. Let's see if I key up. Let me see what we got here. If it'll key up the. Well, he's keying up, so it's not going to work here. I think I need to go to our node. So let's just. But again, you can see all the numbers, all the names and stuff here. I was hoping to get someone to text in here. This is news, it'll be pop up from your node, whatever you're connected to, they can pop up news here, populate that. This is just a chat box for people that are connected here and have access to this software. You can come up here and text something, hello from North Texas, K5LRK node, just testing while streaming on YouTube. And you hit it, and anybody with their node up, and they'll see this pop up, and people can actually text back and forth between the nodes. I'm not sure why we're not hearing these people, and maybe they're analog or something. So let's see if we can find another one. Let's try. Usually the Japan. Here's 174. Let's try this Kansas City. Maybe is that what that is? Yeah, kansascitywide.com for a list of RF connections. Looks like they may have, here's DMR. Looks like they may have some links that link together. There's some smarter people out there that have Echolink and different things linked to WiresX, which allows you to do more. So that's kind of cool. I don't know about the quality of it, but I think the Alabama is another one. Here's someone right there as an Echolink. connected with an echo link. I'm really not sure why we're not hearing them. I mean, we can hear the connect, but it's not what we wanted. So let's just connect to ourselves. Let's do 21606 and see if we can connect to ourselves. Okay, let me go to Texas Nexus. So here's the one that our node usually connects to, and this links a bunch of Texas repeaters, um, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure how far we span. I haven't seen a map recently, but it pretty much goes from the Gulf up to maybe Paris, Texas might be connected. I'm not sure. So, um, so if we could, if our repeater was working, they did a test. There were some issues and the SWR was high, so we turned off our repeater. Um, and I would be able to show you when I key down on my home, my QTH computer, you'd see my call sign pop up with that K5LRK, like I said. So, or I might have that backwards. You know what? Did I do that backwards? Maybe it is supposed to be reversed. Uplink is 4. Yeah, I think I have it backwards. All right. So now let's try Texas Nexus. Yeah, I may have had that on backwards. Maybe that's why we couldn't hear anybody. And when I key down, there it is. K5VOP testing from the K5LRK repeater. Repeater is currently down, just testing the node. K5VOP clear. So I had it backwards. That's probably why we couldn't hear the others too. So that's pretty much it. You got your text box. You got, if there's issues and stuff, it'll populate here. Who's communicating? Position data. That's the position data from my QTH radio. You can have your favorites here. This populates when you're connected. If you're having Wi-Fi problems, this will say offline. That's pretty much it. That's how you set up the node. And hopefully this helps some of you guys out. I thought I'd do something different tonight rather than HF digital modes. And I'll probably do another setup or video later. But this pretty much explains how to set up your node and then connect with the software. So that's about it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So if you like this, make a comment. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. And as always, subscribe. It helps out. Thanks everyone. I appreciate it. 73 and take care.